Hey guys, it's Denise, the boy mother here. Welcome back to my channel. So before we start, I want to remind you guys to subscribe, click the thumbs up, and comment below. Let me know you're here. Let me know you're following. Let me know if you agree or disagree or what your feelings are on the Willow pump, which is what I'm going to talk about today. For the mamas out there who are considering the Willow pump, I am going to give a review of my opinion of it, my experience, and just let you know if I would or would not recommend the Willow pump as an option for pumping. So if you're interested in that, stay tuned and we will get right to it. All right, guys, so let's jump right into this Willow pump review. So my baby is now 5 months. He just turned 5 months, and I have been using this pump now for, I guess, at least 4 months, 4.5 months. When I got the pump, he was about 2.5, 3 weeks old. I did consider purchasing it before his birth, but I honestly just wasn't sure about the sizing, the flange size, all that stuff. So I held off until I actually had him, figured out my flange size, and just did a little more research. So in the research, I was wondering if I should go with the Willow pump or the LV, and I decided to go with the Willow specifically because they advertise it with no milk spillage. That is a game changer to me. In breastfeeding and pumping, you guys, you mamas know, nobody wants to spill milk. Don't nobody got time to be spilling breast milk. And sidebar, Leo is here with me, so you will hear some coos and noises. He's got his pacifier in right now, but it won't stay in for long. So anyways, I chose the Willow pump specifically because of the lack of spillage that it offers. The commercials have like the mom doing yoga, working out, walking a dog, like living her whole life while pumping. And honestly, you can do all of that with the pump. So that's why I chose it. I got it. And I'm not going to bore you with going through with like everything that comes in the box. If you want to know what comes in the box, I'm sure you'll go to the site and read what comes in the box. But as far as the nitty gritty, like if you should get it, that's what I'm going to talk about today. So first off, I'll just give you the, like how I purchased it. I purchased it on the Willow website. I did not go through like Aeroflow and some of the secondary sites to get it. I just went directly to Willow. I did not get any discounts with it. I know right now they're having like some specials, but I did not get insurance coverage, and I did not get any discounts or anything to use it. I purchased it on my own. The cost of it was $499 plus tax, so it was a $500 purchase. And on the upside, I did use flexible spending to pay for it. So if you guys, especially pregnant moms, if you are saving and prepping for postpartum, I would totally suggest, I guess, I would suggest that you invest in your flexible spending if you have that option with your employer. For me, I invested in that so that I can cover my doctor's appointments, the medical bills post birth, and things like the Willow pump. I also got like different things for the baby. I paid for the lactation specialist that way. So I would totally recommend using your FSA if you can. It was super helpful to my family. But as far as the Willow pump, they do allow you to buy it on the flexible spending card or your flexible spending option. So that was really helpful to me. So I went ahead and went forward with the purchase that way. I do also want to warn or say that this should not be your primary pump. This is a secondary option. This option should be used once your milk is established, once your milk supply is established. So you probably won't need it for like the first month of pumping and breastfeeding. You want to make sure that you have a steady stream of milk coming in before you start using your Willow pump. So you're going to want to use your medical or hospital grade pumps at that point. You're going to want to use, for example, your Medellas and your Spectras as your primary, whatever your primary pumps are. And then use your Medela on the side. That'll be like your backup pump. I actually have, I actually have 4 pumps. So I have my Medela, I have a Spectra 2, I have the Willow pumps, and I have a Laniso or something like that it's called. The one that starts with the L with the purple. I have that one for work. So I have my Medela is like my downstairs pump. My Spectra is in the bedroom. The Willows are when I'm traveling, and the Laniso or whatever it's called is at work. I'll link it below so you guys can see what it is and what it's called, since I can't seem to remember right now. And here's my boy. Yes, making your noises. Okay, so let's hop into the pros of the Willow pump. So the positives of this pump is that, yes, it's true, it does not leak. So if you use the bags that come with the pump, they have little plastic bags that go inside of the flange for the pump. Those allow you a leak-free experience. So you can walk around, jump around, exercise, bend over, pick stuff up, carry your baby, put him back down, do yoga, whatever you need. You can do all of that with that option, and you do not have to worry about leakage. I will say that you do have more of a chance for leakage with the actual bottles, and those are, and by bottles I mean the actual bottle option that comes with the flange if you order it for the Willow. So if you order the bottle option, that one is a little more cost effective, so people do go that route. And I'm sure it's better for the environment as well, but I think they only last you for like 3 months. So if you invest in the bottles, you do have more option or more of a chance of spillage. There's a lot of like unlock and lock options that will allow you to spill your milk, but you won't have the spillage while you're moving around and pumping. That part was very satisfying for me. I did not experience any loss of milk. I will say that I did have to practice using it, and in that case, I did have some drippage, but I would totally say if you are experiencing or working with this pump, when you start using your milk for the first time and it like actually pumping in it and removing the pump and that process, do it over a bowl. Like just take these off of you. This is the actual Willow pump. Take them like off of your boob, hold them up and put them inside of a bowl and let that be what you use to protect you from spilling any milk. That is a tip. All right, guys, so let's continue. So number 1 was that it does not leak. Number 2 is that the number 2 pro for using the Willow pump is that it's easy to use. So once you actually get a hang of it, I did have to watch a couple of quick tutorials. I looked at a couple on YouTube, and to be honest, the actual app that comes with the breast pump, it has tutorials built in. So when you're trying to set it up and put everything together, it actually has a step-by-step tutorial that's built into the app for you. I found that super easy to use. I actually used it for the first time in my car. Like I was gonna go pick up dinner and I was like, let me just try this really quickly. So I did already practice putting the pieces of it together. So that part I had down packed, but you know, like putting it on and lining everything up and setting it up in my bra, that whole process, I did it in the car. Judge your mother, but I did it in the car. It was easy. I followed the tutorial. And then drove into the night to pick up dinner. I actually drove like 30 minutes away to have to go pick up food. So it was worth it. It was worth it. It was a nice attempt to first use it. But yes, it is easy to use. Once you get the hang of it, you'll be slapping it together, putting it on and moving on with your life pretty quickly. The third thing is that it does have an app, which is what I was just kind of leading into. It does have an app. The app is very easy to use. The app is user friendly. It's easy to download. It is easy to read and follow. In order to check your the amount that you actually pumped and things like that, all of it's easy to maneuver through. So the app is straightforward. I don't think there's any tutorials that I've seen or needed to use on actually managing the app, but the app is super easy to use as well. So um yes, yay for the app. And the app also has FAQs. So if you have questions and stuff, that's all built in. So the app was well thought out. So number 4 is that the pumps hold charge well. In having my pumps, I sometimes will just charge them overnight if I needed to. But honestly, with wearing them, I would be able to get like 2 full pumps out of them. Um, and then after getting those 2 full pumps, like bring it home, put it down, and then like if I forgot to charge them the next day, I would be able to like get 1 full pump out of it at least. So um, I would be able to use like at least 3 pumps out of 1 charging session with the pumps. I did like have to come home and make sure that I did pump them, and they'll turn like yellow, the lights on them to let you know that your battery's low. The app will let you know that the batteries are low. They're very responsive and informative in that manner. So they did hold the charge well, though. I was able to get at least three 25-minute pumping sessions out of each charge. If I went too long and like didn't charge it for like 2 days or something, um, then I usually would see that I had to charge it before using it. But if I just like used it one day and then the next day I didn't charge it at all overnight, I would still be able to use it the next day. Number 5 is that the pumps stay in place well. The recommendation is that you have a bra, like a nursing bra, that does not have underwire. I'm gonna be honest. I have large boobs. I wear a G cup. I don't have any bras that don't have underwire, but I was still able to use the pumps just fine. So but once I put them on, put them in place, they stayed well. There was no movement. They weren't sliding off and sliding out of place and losing alignment. I didn't have any of those issues. I did see that in a lot of the reviews, or well, some of the reviews with the LV, is that they didn't stay in place well. I did not experience that at all with the Willow. Yeah, I put them on, they held on and did their job and stayed in place. So those are my main pros for the Willow pump. Those are the main things that I took away from it that that keep me coming back, keep me wanting to use it. And actually, the last thing I do want to add is that it's convenient as hell. When you just need to pump really quickly, or you are fitting something into your day, and you didn't pump, or if you just don't feel like it, but you also need to do the dishes and whatever, you can just mosey on around your house, pump while you're doing stuff, and get that pump out of the way. The convenience of the Willow pump is unrivaled. I mean, I can't say anything better. Like the convenience is there. So on that front alone, they are worth purchasing, in my opinion, in my humble opinion. But with all pros come cons, so I will tell you my list of cons. So my number 1 con is that the Willow pump was rough on the nipples. In the beginning, they do explain to you that they have their own pumping style. So the actual suction that that lines up, I guess, with, so when you use the hospital grade pumps, there is the quick motion that initiates the milk, and then there is the longer suction motion. In my opinion, the longer suction motion was really intense. Several times I've taken the pump off and my nipples were like super swollen. They look like the pump was trying to like take them off. Like it was a lot. I know one of my friends used the Willow, and she actually could not continue to use it because they were so rough on her nipples. As a workaround, I started using oil in the actual flange of the Willow pump. So it comes with a plastic flange. I just put oil inside of that flange and oil on my nipple and put the pump on. In that case, I was able to move forward with using the pump. I did think about like, what the hell is going on here? I almost considered sending them back initially, but once I used the oil, that was much better for me. It worked out much better for me. And I was more comfortable with getting like 2 sessions into from the actual pump versus just getting one and like making sure nothing like, was like bleeding or coming apart. So you do feel like I did feel like my nipples were going to bleed at first with how rough the actual suction was. And I will say you do get used to it over time as well. It does get a little easier to manage, but I did feel like my nipples were going to bleed a couple of times or several times. I would totally recommend oil or pump spray if you are experiencing that or kind of working through that hump. That did help me out. The second con that I have is that the app can be hella inaccurate. The actual amount of milk that you are pumping that is going into the bags or the actual milk bottles, several times that's been inaccurate to me. Like for example, it said that I pumped like 3 ounces and I really only pumped like 2. Or it's told me I pumped like 5 ounces and I pumped like 2. Like, yeah, that would be great if I pumped 5 ounces, and if I didn't know any better, I probably would have been excited and super disappointed when I took the pump off and saw that there was only 2 daggone ounces in the bag. But the app is inaccurate. And the main thing about it being inaccurate is that you can't go back and change it. You cannot manually change the measurements of the app that the app captures. So if you're leaning on those measurements, they're just going to be wrong. That's what it is. Luckily for me, I used the Glow app the entire time that I've been breastfeeding to capture the measurements of all of my milk outputs. So no matter which pump I use, I've been recording it in the Glow app in order to make sure that I am meeting my like standard amounts daily. So I would even take the numbers from that pumping session from the Willow pump and then put it into the Glow app as well. Y'all, this boy wants to be on camera so bad. What do you want from me? Silly Billy. So, yes, the app can be very inaccurate. Number 4 for the, I'm sorry, for the cons was that the pumps are noticeable in your clothes. If I have a picture, I'll add it. But like I wore this pump regularly to take my kids to the park. I've gone to birthday parties or like family gatherings with the pumps on. They are very noticeable. Like the marketing is that, there's this quiet section that happens and no one knows that you're pumping, but it's really not true. Like there's lights, and if you are in any room that is not brightly lit, you can see that there's lights on in your shirt. And then they're just like sitting like way out there. So they are noticeable. You can hear them a little too. Like I actually wore the pumps to get my eyebrows done once, and the eyebrow tech was like, "Wait, do you hear something?" And I had to explain to her, like, "Don't worry, those are my breast pumps." And she was like, "Oh, okay, I didn't know what was going on." So they're a little noisy as well. So overall, they're noticeable. Don't go out thinking you're about to secretly pump in peace. People gonna be side-eyeing you like she's got some big old boobs, or her boobs look very pointy, because they look like pointy and like awkwardly shaped. At least they did for me. So there's that piece. Another con that I had, Leo's going through the raspberry phase, by the way. So He's been spinning all over the place. Another con that I had is the app. If I was in the car, and I opened the app for the Willow pump and allowed it to capture the actual suction while it was working, it would interfere with my music. So I could not like listen to music in my car, open the app, and pump at the same time. Like, it would completely scramble everything that I was listening to on like Apple Play, or Apple Music, for example. And I would have to like close the app. So, you have to kind of just, I guess, like be aware of it, because if you don't open the app, then you'll just have to wait until later for it to catch up with the Bluetooth and tell you the amount that you pumped. So I mean, I would either just like check the app before getting into the car, or just know that my music would be messed up, or use another source to play the music outside of Bluetooth. Otherwise, opening the app inside of the car while using the pump was like a whole thing. So if we were traveling together as a family, I would just try to be considerate and not opening the app while we're driving, because I'm going to be messing up the music and the fun that we're having listening to music in the car. So that's a thing. That part I did not love, but I mean, there was a workaround, which was just not opening the app. Otherwise I could pump and it did not interfere with my Bluetooth or my music or anything like that. The next con that I had is that I could not find a bra easily, that fit well, that did not have underwire. Like I explained earlier, I have large boobs. Wearing bras without underwire doesn't exist. They did recommend, Willow is they did recommend a Kindred Braverly bra on their website. And it does give sizing options, but I'm going to be very honest. There's nowhere in public I would have worn that bra and felt like secure, or like my boobs were under control. Like, the bra just did not offer any support. And it, like, not only did it not offer support, but then they also had like that like extra boobage issue up here. No, nobody's wearing that in public. So, yeah, it was hard to find a bra. I just put it in my regular nursing bra and it worked that way. But if you are actually going out of your way to find a bra, if you have large boobs, good luck on your search. If you find a bra that works, that like actually is supportive and holds that up, please, in the comments, let me know. I would really appreciate it. Dude. Okay. Let's see. Lastly is that, the pump only comes with one charger. That was my last con. So you have to remember to like charge one and then take that out and charge the other. So like sometimes I would start the charge like in the evening while I'm cooking, and then before going to bed, charge the other one, just to make sure that you get them both charged equally before you need to use them again. They do have an option of extra chargers to purchase online. After paying for a $500 pump, you don't really want to send Willow much more of your money. At least I didn't. But I did talk to Willow about my concerns, and they gave me like a little coupon. So maybe reach out, see if you can get a discount for any pieces that you want to purchase. Otherwise, it has one charger, so you can't just like plug them up and roll out and think about it later. You do have to make sure that you manage that process and ensure that you come back and charge the other. So I'll just show you my pumps. You can tell that they're being used. I do like them. I do recommend them. They are super convenient, super useful. But again, they're large. They will be in the way. They're like hard on the outside. So like when you're trying to hold your baby, their heads are going to be against these little like hard pieces. But it works. Like, it works. It lets you get your pump sessions in while you are cleaning up, doing dishes, mopping, taking your kids to the park, taking them to birthday parties. I have been able to pump at many, many places, hands-free, You know, I've been able to take Ace off the playground kicking and screaming while pumping. It doesn't feel good. It's uncomfortable sometimes, but like you can live your life and be a mom and pump at the same time. So overall, I would recommend them. I have experienced a love-hate relationship, especially while they were painful on my nipples. But other than that, I do like them. I use them probably 2 to 3 times weekly at this point. I do try to make sure that I use them more because like I paid so much for them. But otherwise, I'd recommend them. I'd say make the purchase. I think that they were, from what I'm hearing, I think it's the better purchase over LV because you do have the option of no spillage at all. Sorry guys. And that's it. Like, I mean, I would recommend them. I would say go for it, pull the trigger. If you can, use your flexible spending plan for it that way. I think flexible spending, for those of you who are interested in that option, you are allowed to update your flexible spending and change the amounts due to a new federal mandate that went out from the virus, based on the virus that will go unnamed. So yeah, that there is I believe there is a rule now that you can change your flexible spending amounts. So if you are planning to use that, you may be able to add it in. I think you can do it at any time in or outside of open enrollment with your employer. So I hope that helps you guys. I hope that helps any moms who are trying to make a decision. I hope that Leo wasn't too loud during this video so that you can hear the pros and cons that I experienced. And if you have questions at all, please leave them in the comments. I am happy to answer, happy to help out. But otherwise, till I see you guys next time, peace. And again, don't forget to hit the thumbs up, subscribe, and comment below. Talk to you guys soon. Bye. Hey guys, so one thing I wanted to make sure that I added that I forgot to mention on the cons list is that I do not pump as much milk with my Willow pump as I do with my medical grade pumps. According to my lactation specialist, that's very normal. That's across the board. Most women are experiencing that. So I generally do experience like actual emptying of my breasts and getting more milk out with my Medela and Spectra pumps. But with the Willow, I mean, you know, they pull milk, they get enough, they get a decent amount out, but they are not completely emptying my boobs as well as the medical grade pumps. So I do want to make sure that I'm transparent there. In some of the reviews I've seen, some women do get a lot of milk. Many women that I've seen, they're saying that they don't. In my experience, I do not. So I do want to make sure that I'm being honest in that space and adding that in there. So if you are experiencing this as well, let me know, put it in the comments. But I did want to make sure I shared it. And finally, he's going to sleep. Bye.